If you can predict what's going to happen in the market, whether it's going to go sideways, up, or down, if you use dual investment the right way, it is a lower risk way for you to consistently make gains in the market. Pionex Dual Investment. Make gains all the time if you know what you're doing. And that's why in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Pionex's Dual Investment feature within their platform. It's a lot similar to Binance's Dual Investment product, but actually a much better experience with the layout, how it's used, the features, just generally better yet similar. So I'm going to show you how that works, and this video is sponsored by Pionex. They are a sponsor of this channel. I like working with them. I like using their products just because the platform is open to everyone since KYC is optional. They have the lowest fees, half the fee of Binance, Wobi, KuCoin, and they have the liquidity of the Binance and Wobi. So you get a lot of the same coins that are available on those bigger platforms for a lower price without having to go through KYC. None of this is financial advice. This is just an educational video on how to use one of the tools on Pionex. One of the biggest lessons you can learn in life is learning. You just have to keep learning. You have to do your research, create your own opinion, and with that, you'll be ready to make better decisions in life in general. And if you can help me out with my decision to create YouTube content by hitting that like button, I would appreciate it. Now we can get started. What is dual investment? It's kind of like options trading that automatically exercises that option at the settlement date. Very confusing words, but let me break that down for you. If you're new to investing, it just means you are betting on the price of Bitcoin, and when that contract expires, you are going to get paid out that interest rate. But the thing is, you are going to end up either with a stablecoin or with a Bitcoin. The interest rate that you signed up for, you are getting that no matter what. But the thing is, what happens in the market really decides what you want it to happen. So let's say you bet on Bitcoin being above $50,000, and that happens, but Bitcoin pumps to $55,000. It gets a 10% gain within that day while you have that contract open. By the way, these contracts cannot be canceled or claimed early. They have to run their course. So a little warning there before you sign up for anything. And let's say, Bitcoin pumps 10%. It goes from 50,000 to 55,000. So your contract would end with you having more USDT in your account. You would get that interest rate. But if you were holding Bitcoin, you would have made much more. Now the same thing kind of goes in reverse. So let's say you bought the contract at $50,000, Bitcoin dumps to $45,000. That means there was a 10% drop. Now with that dual investment that you opened at the end of your settlement date, it is going to buy that Bitcoin at $50,000 plus the interest rate that you were going to earn, but that's at the $50,000 price while Bitcoin's at $45,000. So that just means you are overpaying for that Bitcoin. So there are pros and cons to using dual investment. Those were the cons. Here are the pros. If you can predict what's going to happen in the market, whether it's going to go sideways, up, or down, if you use dual investment the right way, it is a lower risk way for you to consistently make gains in the market. So you can see my results here. I've been using dual investment for a while to fully understand what happens. And the best situation you can be in is if Bitcoin dumps, then pumps. If it dumps at the settlement date, then pumps after that. That is the best situation to be in because you are getting paid out in Bitcoin, you are getting paid that interest rate, and now you're holding that Bitcoin as the price of Bitcoin goes up. So that is the ideal situation. Or if Bitcoin just keeps going sideways, you can just keep accruing more and more of these dual investments and you can keep stacking those interest rates. So there are a lot of different things you can do with dual investment. It does carry some risk, but overall it's actually a much lower risk than holding cryptocurrency. And that's why you can get those higher APRs. But at the same time, if a coin moves 5 or 10% in a day, the APR provided in those dual investments aren't really going to keep up with what's happening in the market. So the markets can be very volatile. None of this is financial advice. Just understand what you're getting into before getting started. So let's set up a dual investment on Pionex. So I'm in the app, go to earn at the bottom right, invest, that plus sign there, then dual investment, create. And now we have a lot of different options here. We could invest using USDT, ETH, BTC, BUSD, or USDC. So lots of stablecoins or just against Bitcoin and Ethereum. I got USDT, so I'm going to use that for this example. We are going to select the first one, USDT BTC, and you can see the different types of investments available. We have 1 day at the top left, 2 days, and others. So with others, you can have a dual investment up to 9 months away. So we go to the very bottom here. It's 277 days away with an APR of 6%, which is okay. You could do kind of better with some of the other products. But with the aggressive mode, you could get an APR of 23%. And that is pretty high considering that would be a 23% return, especially if that's against Bitcoin. But we always want the price of Bitcoin to be high, so to actually get that Bitcoin, the price would have to dip below that strike price or target price. So let's set up a 1 day dual investment. So I go to 1 day and we really have two options here. We can pick a strike price of $50,000 or $51,000. You can see that there's a small difference, but that $1,000 difference would get us significantly more gain. So I'm pretty comfortable going into aggressive mode. So that's what I'm going to purchase. And then we go to purchase. And you can see here that the minimum to get started would be 100 USDT and a maximum of 500,000. We could do 100 as a very small example, just so we understand what's going to happen. And you can see in the settlement calculator what is going to happen. So when the dual investment gets settled, if Bitcoin is below the price of $51,000, we are going to get that $100 back in BTC plus interest. So we would be getting that annualized interest rate of 163%. And that would be returned in Bitcoin. Now that's 1 day, so we are gonna have to do some math there, and it's gonna turn out into something less than 0.5% of gains. So that's what happens if Bitcoin is below $51,000. But if Bitcoin turns out to be above $51,000, we are gonna get our return back in USDT. So our $100 investment is going to turn into $100.32. So you can see that here. So now that we're ready, we just hit continue, confirmation page to see all the settings, continue. And now we have a USDT Bitcoin dual investment running. You can see the current price and then the return. As we get closer to the settlement date, this graph is going to update. If the price fluctuates, it's going to fluctuate as well. And it gives us a very clear visual if we're going to end up with USDT or Bitcoin. Claiming your rewards. So at the settlement date of your dual investment, you have to claim those rewards. They will not get automatically invested. They are just going to sit in the dual investment area of the app until you claim them. So if you are doing these 1 day dual investments, you're going to have to do this daily. Otherwise, you might want to consider one of the longer term options. From my experience using the Pionex Dual Investment product, I found a lot of success using the Dual Investment bot in a sideways market. The market just happened to be going sideways while I was using it, and the profit was a lot better than just holding cryptocurrency or earning interest on stablecoins. Using the dual investment product in that scenario worked out very well. So if you are investing in cryptocurrency, you might want to consider using the dual investment product to diversify some of your risk. And if you want to learn more about Pionex and what they can do, I have this excellent playlist here because I've done a lot of reviews on their products. And there is a referral link in the description. for 20% off your Pionex trades. And with that, I hope you got your full value for today.